The choices for this question make it remarkably easy to predict the question, right? We want to know what we're dealing with before we go into the heart of it. And look, all these choices are the same word with just a different punctuation mark. So obviously punctuation is what they're testing. But remember, predicting the question is not just about knowing the rules and that stuff. It's about knowing how to solve the problem, right? And so with punctuation, we really want to make sure we're considering sentence structure. It's not just about when we pause, because, you know, kind of all the punctuation marks usually mean a pause. So how would we know which pause to take? Well, we have certain rules that we need to follow when the sentence is being constructed to know what is the main sentence, what is an extra clause, where do sentences begin and end. Those kinds of things inform us which punctuation marks to use. It's not just about sound. There are real rules, and thinking about structure can help us. So because I see things here like semicolons and even a little bit with the dash, those are usually harder breaks, and I have certain rules, like especially with semicolons, because I would require a sentence before and after that semicolon in order to use it. So I can think in terms of what is the sentence here. What are they really saying? So it says, to perform their job successfully in this dynamic environment. Well, that just sounds like an extra clause. It's leading into something. Workers in many fields, from social services to manufacturing, must continually acquire relevant knowledge and update key skills. So here's the main topic of the sentence, the workers, that's the subject, in many fields, and then it kind of has a little bit of a break here. We can see that with the punctuation, from social services to manufacturing, and look, there's a comma, and marking another break in the structure of the sentence. Must continue to acquire relevant knowledge and update key skills. So the yellow is the main sentence. If I were to cut out all the extra, that's what I'd be left with. Workers in many fields must continually acquire relevant knowledge and update key skills. And notice how that sounds like a complete thought, right? At its beginning, as an end, I'm not left hanging here. So that tells me that this green part in the middle, the part that I kind of care about, is an extra clause. It's not part of the main sentence. It's kind of inserted into the main sentence, and we used a comma at the end to show that breaking point, the part where the extra clause ends and the main sentence resumes. And so that's totally valid. We very often use punctuation to insert something into a sentence, and when we do that, we need to use symmetry. So the fact that we use a comma at the end means that we're going to need a comma at the beginning as well to balance things out. And now the reason this is a little tricky is we could have used a dash. This wouldn't be wrong if we had used the double dash, right? So if we had a dash after manufacturing as well, then we would have been okay to put a dash before the green, between the words field and from. So that's the thing with punctuation, is there isn't always one way to do it. But if we think about structure and we notice how the sentence is put together, we can kind of narrow our focus and find the one right way for this particular situation. And we can use the choices to kind of inform our decisions and be like, okay, maybe I would have used a dash myself, but I don't have this other dash, so I can't use it here. And that is why the comma is best, is it's just kind of what they chose for us. That's what we're almost always doing, is kind of living with the decisions that the writer made, not making our own decisions about what is best. So there you go. Sentence structure gets you on that path and lets you figure this out using that. We interrupt sentences all the time, but we use punctuation to show that interruption and to show your reader that there's a little bit of a break in the logic. So if you find the core sentence, you'll see the break and you'll be able to choose the right punctuation mark.